Hey fam, so Ava here. So after 8 years and 6 seasons, episode 10, we've reached the finale, the series finale of The Handmaid's Tale. So we've jumped ahead 3 weeks from the end of episode 9, and here we are, episode 10, and it opens with June's voiceover. Boston is free. The Gilead occupation is over. We won, here at least. Boston is America again. Praise fucking be. So she goes a little bit more by saying, by the time the Marines landed in Southie, the fighting was almost over. Gilead had already started pulling out of the city. Then it took only 19 days. First Massachusetts, it's liberated. Then New York, west across Ohio, Kansas, someday Colorado, and maybe Hannah. So as we know from all the flashbacks, we know that this whole series has been June trying to get to Hannah. She's trying to get Hannah, and unfortunately, Hannah is not saved in this episode, y'all. So again, spoilers throughout this whole video. If you guys have gotten up to this point, I'm not sure why, but this is a final review. I'm going to be talking about all the plot points of this episode and the ending and my thoughts. So unfortunately, Hannah is not rescued. We know that The Testaments is coming. The Testaments is a sequel to the 1985 book, The Handmaid's Tale, and it follows the journey of Hannah, Nicole, and Aunt Lydia. Now, I haven't read the book, so I'm not sure exactly how all the stories intertwine and everything like that. But again, this is not going to be a happy ending for every single character. It is a warning, ultimately, of what could happen if we don't fight, because that's ultimately how Gilead happened, because we didn't fight. So we jump ahead, and the only talking line that Moira has throughout this whole episode to June is, have they heard anything about Janine? Because again, at the end of episode 9, before they tried to hang up all the handmaids, you know, she got separated along with Aunt Lydia, and we don't know where Janine is. She's somewhere in Gilead still. Then we jump to Luke, who is ultimately still trying to turn on the power throughout the city of Boston. Him and June have a really tender moment, ultimately coming to a new opportunity, just saying, hey, we're going to take it from here. We still have fighting to do. So there was a before Gilead, there's Gilead, and there's going to be an after. So we have the promise of maybe the relationship rekindling somewhere in the future, because the fight still goes on. We also saw some beautiful, tender flashbacks. I know a lot of people hated the flashbacks, but I personally loved them because it tied back into ultimately the journey that June and every other person throughout the series has had. She has tender moments of her remembering Nick. Throughout the whole episode, people were saying, hey, you need to write a book, June, you know, about your journey. So, you know, everything that has led you to this point, the people who have helped you, the people that you lost, the people that you love, you know, write a story. So throughout the whole